Yo, Caspa family, so where do we stand after this flash crash? Again, we checked the 12-hour chart and we see this consolidation still happening. Something to be worried about? Not at all. So I do believe we're still in that consolidation phase, and this is just that typical crypto volatility. Again, you keep an eye on this yellow moving average, and it's very interesting how when it starts to flatline like this after a large crash, that's the opportunity for the price to move upward. We bring it down to the 4-hour, and again, we see this type of support level with those indicators signaling a potential bottom happening as it dropped down to this low, down to basically even touching as low as what, 8.38 cents. This is pretty incredible. Here we are on the 6-hour chart, a little more clear as well. Again, these low points are great buying opportunities. So again, this is all part of that volatility game. We can see this drop down to the low Bollinger indicator starting to bottom out a little bit. Now, we had to look also big picture. We look at the 100-day moving average, and we see this type of support level forming. This is very much of a macro trend. Again, it's painting a picture where this type of reversal from this bottom creates this consolidation period. A bit of that, we're consolidating at this deep macro average. Is this healthy? Yes, it's certainly healthy. Is it going to be volatile around here? Yes, it's going to be volatile. But, it's a waiting game as we are entering altcoin season, as I was showing in these other beautiful charts like this, for example, I showed in my last video. Now, again, if you have not purchased a Tangem yet, you better get one fast because 20% off is going to go. It's most likely going to leave June 16th. So you got 4 days for this 20% off discount. You got a stealth edition, so you got some cool little things, even a family pack for the best value to get 2 sets of cold wallets from Tangem. Highly recommend. They're extremely compatible within the Caspa ecosystem with the KRC20, and we'll see, when they get compatible with the smart contract protocols as well. So, you got the Kaspa wallet. Even Nacho has some wallets left to be purchased. So take a look at that. Scape is the promo code. So let's get back to the video. Yo, guys, you check on X to go to Kaspa currency, and they have done something like I can't even believe it. Yeah, they have changed their name to City, small c, and it's causing quite the ruckus on X. Honestly, not the move. Gonna be honest. I like the intention. I mean, this type of post, this is awesome. This post right here, this tweet, but man, you could just make a Kaspa community, big C for the community. It looks cleaner, it looks more professional than Kaspa City. Gonna be honest, this just isn't the move. So hopefully they change it to something that's a little more professional. Even keeping it Caspa, there's no problem with that since you already have in the description. It's unofficial, shares from the community. Just call it Caspa community. I think that's just the best of both worlds. Keeps it professional, keeps it clear, and yeah, easy fix. Let's see when they could actually change their name again, because it might be 2 weeks until they could change their name on X. So yeah. Kind of funny, gonna be honest, but this is all part of the growing pains that decentralized marketing efforts. And take a look at this. We got the emission schedule right now. Miners are earning 4.9 CAS. Okay, so people are a little bit worried that the hashing rate is going down. Here we see it's basically following the price action of Caspa itself. As the price of Caspa goes down, less of these old miners are going to be profitable. However, even miners from a year ago are still profitable. Here we go, breaking down the profitability of Kaspa miners, and we see the KS5, this was from a year ago. This got released a year ago, and it's still profitable to this day. Yeah, it's not so much profit, but 50 cents a day, all right, you'll take it. So, check the latest miner, $8 profitability per day. So you buy the latest miner, and the thing is, these miners from a year ago, they've already reached their ROI. They've already reached the return on investment that they're looking for. It usually takes about a year to do that with a mining equipment. So this is just all free money, basically, from this year ago. And yeah, these KS zeros from also a year ago, they are not profitable anymore. But by this period, they would have already reached their return on initial investment. And so there's no point on really running that. And that's why we also see the mining hash rate going down because these miners, these old miners, I mean, they're not profitable anymore, so people have to turn them down. Even for something like this, maybe they don't have as good electricity, so they have to turn them off. But the newer miners are very profitable, and people that are buying them, especially this, like, they got released recently in like the past like month or two. So yeah, still very profitable to mine Caspa. Highly, uh, I mean, do I recommend it? Not really. At these prices, like, it's better just to buy the coin itself than the miner, because if once the price skyrockets, then it would have been better to just buy Caspa outright than to buy a miner, which like slowly gives you the Caspa that you're looking for. Now we take a look at this emission schedule, and it's like you really have to understand the big picture. Okay, this is in 10-year time frame. So here we're at 4.9 Caspa, and it just keeps going down and down and down. In 10 years, look at this. Look at the emission schedule. I mean, this is just like dust. We consider this dust currently. For this to work, you have to really see great adoption with smart contract protocol to deliver the rewards for miners who secure the network. So miners are going to be relying a lot more on these gas fees from transactions within the Caspa ecosystem, from smart contracts, layer twos, and as Caspa gets adopted, not just within the Caspa sphere, but across crypto, because Caspa can be the underlying sequencer for all these different blockchains. It can be the underlying settlement layer for all these other different applications. There's so much benefit to use Caspa as the sequencer, for example. So it fixes the centralization issue with Ethereum layer twos. The centralization issue with layer twos is they have to have all this. They have to they have to sequence the transactions on their own. That's instead of all being ordered by a single sequencer, a layer one sequencer, they are taking the ordering in their own hands. That's a problem. That's a centralization issue. And then they have to batch all the transactions together, collect them off chain, batch them, send them to the layer one for settlement. Now that's also a centralization issue. Caspa fixes all of this, so it's like you're going to be able to see, I think, in the next few years, Caspa adoption within the crypto sphere become much more prevalent. So we're going to see those gas fees being able to sustain miners in a much more meaningful way. So that's why, as the time goes on, it's not going to really be much of a change for miners, especially as the price increases as well. So that's what's up long term, and that's why you really have to not think like that. Oh my gosh, the network. No, there's going to be no point mining it in 10 years. No, because once Caspa reaches $10, $20, $50, or even $100 in 10 years, this amount, it's going to be worth a lot more, of course, than the gas fees and the transaction volume on a day-to-day basis. Or Caspa is going to, I mean, just think about it, like taking just a small fraction of what the banks or debit card, credit card companies, what they transact on a daily basis. Think of that in terms of Caspa. Even think of not just that, don't stop there. Think about all the transaction activity that happens on social media, on the internet, how data gets moved from one source to another, how many times a second. Caspa can be the underlying infrastructure for that, and that's what Caspa Key, for example, wants to do with their green trading platform. They're going to have Caspa as, again, the underlying infrastructure for this platform, because Caspa is the rails. Caspa allows such fast and efficient transaction activity. So you're going to be able to, take advantage of that. For example, with this micro trading of green energy. So that's just one example of Caspa's, application. So definitely coiled and ready to strike. I really do believe this is the bottom. We check on the macro time frames, and again, this is the dominance, basically signaling the bottom of altcoin season, meaning it's just the start. It's just started. We're going to be consolidating for 1 to 2 to 3 months, something like that. and then it's blast off. Look, this is on the monthly time frame. So give it a few months. And look at this. It took a few months, and we'll see exactly how fast it starts up, because it could be extremely fast given the amount of time we've been down. So there's a lot of, it's basically like a pot. It's been boiling for a long time now, and it's going to blow that lid off. So we take a look again at Bitcoin, for example. 4-hour chart, it's seeing some good support level here. These are hourly time frames, so it's going to be very volatile, and um, there's support. So after this large drop, it's like if you want to continue selling, it's like you're not in the right mentality. You really have to think like a shark, and that these are market makers really trying to get these swings and take advantage of people's fear, people's greed, and they play off of that. I mean, look, check this similar move out down here. So we stick around to the average, and that's the safe point. Continue to buy, continue to hodl, because this is the start of a massive altcoin season. Check Ethereum, for example, very healthy chart. So it bounced around here. Again, looking on, this is the 3-day chart. It's very much in an uptrend. It's going to have to, still consolidate for some time. So don't be worried about it. This was the big move. This was actually a very massive move for the crypto market on June 9th. This really confirmed the breakout that we're looking for. And that's why it's very bullish for Caspa as well, because Ethereum is responding very well to the broader economy, to the broader market, just as it should be. Now here we are with Solana as well, again in a macro uptrend. So nothing to discredit here. That yes, it's going to be moving in these within this range. It could very much even touch down to here. But this is a macro uptrend that we are in, and it's going to take time, but we are going to see an all-time high for altcoins coming up very soon, in my opinion. So definitely hold your bags, buy if you can, and we're going to reach the moon very soon. Let's get it, Caspa family.